the song is in Bengali. The translation is like this. O Mother, for once be seated upon the lotus of my heart. Let me behold for once the world-pervading beauty of yours with my eyes. Your Annapurna in the home, Shama in the cremation ground, Uma upon Kailasha, and Rama in Vaikuntha. You assume the forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in creation, preservation, and dissolution. Are you male or female? I cannot tell. Unless you reveal yourself, who can ever know? In Vrindavan, you adorned yourself as half Radha and half Krishna. Remover of sorrow and suffering, awakener of consciousness, I seek nothing but your two lotus feet. With love lotuses, I will adorn those feet. That's my heart's desire. O Mother, for once be seated upon the lotus of my heart. Let me behold for once the world-pervading beauty of yours with my eyes. বিরাজো তোমার হৃদি কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো তোমার হৃদি কমলাসনে তোমার ভুবন ভরা রূপটি একবার দেখে লই মনয়নে তোমার ভুবন ভরা রূপটি একবার দেখে লই মনয়নে কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো তোমার হৃদি কমলাসনে তুমি অন্নপূর্ণা শ্মশানে শ্যামা তুমি অন্নপূর্ণা শ্মশানে শ্যামা কৈলাসেতে উমা তুমি বৈকুণ্ঠে রমা তুমি অন্নপূর্ণা শ্মশানে শ্যামা কৈলাসেতে উমা তুমি বৈকুণ্ঠে রমা ধর বীরিঞ্চি সে বিষ্ণু রূপ সৃজন লয় পালনে ধর বীরিঞ্চি সে বিষ্ণু রূপ সৃজন লয় পালনে কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো তোমার হৃদি কমলাসনে তুমি পুরুষ কি নারী বুঝিতে নারী তুমি পুরুষ কি নারী বুঝিতে নারী স্বয়ং না বুঝালে তাকে বুঝিতে পারি তুমি পুরুষ কি নারী বুঝিতে নারী স্বয়ং না हरि তুমি আধা রাধা আধা কৃষ্ণ সাজিলে বৃন্দাবনে তুমি আধা রাধা আধা কৃষ্ণ সাজিলে বৃন্দাবনে কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো কুমারি কমলাসনে দুঃখ দৈন্য হারিণী চৈতন্য কারিণী দুঃখ দৈন্য হারিণী চৈতন্য কারিণী অন্য কিছু চাই না বিনা চরণ দুখানি দুঃখ দৈন্য হারিণী চৈতন্য কারিণী অন্য কিছু চাই না বিনা চরণ দুখানি আমি প্রেম সরোজে সাজাবো পদ বাসনা মনে মনে আমি প্রেম সরোজে সাজাবো পদ বাসনা মনে মনে কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো কুমারি কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো কুমারি কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজো কুমারি কমলাসনে I will sing a Hindi song, a Surdas Bhajan. Surdas was a saint and he is famous for his Radha Krishna creations. This is about surrender. You can say this is almost about Sharanagati, you know. It says the words are Laj Rakho Giridhari. Protect my honor, O Giridhari. Just as you upheld Arjuna's honor on the field of the great war, becoming his charioteer, guiding the chariot yourself, wielding the Sudarshan Chakra and never abandoning your devotee, protect my honor, O Giridhari. Just as you safeguarded Draupadi's honor, not allowing her to be shamed, when Dushashan pulled and pulled till both his arms grew tired, you made her garment endless, O Murari. Protect my honor, O Giridhari. O Lord, preserve the honor of Surdas. You alone are his protector. Beloved of Radha, the cherished daughter of King Brishbhanu, O Shrivar, I come into your refuge. Protect my honor, O Giridhari. लाज रखो गिरधारी, लाज रखो गिरधारी लाज रखो गिरधारी लाज रखो गिरधारी जैसी लाज रखी अर्जुन की जैसी लाज रखी अर्जुन की भारत युद्ध मझारी सारथी होके रथ को भाग्यो सारथी होके रथ को भाग्यो चक्र सुदर्शन धरी भगत की टेक नटारी लाज रखो गिरधारी लाज रखो गिरधारी जैसी लाज रखी द्रौपदी की जैसी लाज रखी द्रौपदी की होने नदी में उगाड़ी खेचत खेचत दो भुज खाके खेचत खेचत दो भुज खाके दुशासन पछतारी चीर बढ़ायो मुरारी लाज रखो गिरधारी लाज रखो गिरधारी सूरदास की लाज रखो प्रभु सूरदास की लाज रखो प्रभु अब तो है रखवारी राधे राधे श्रीवर प्यारो राधे राधे श्रीवर प्यारो श्री वृषभान दुलारी शरण में आयो तुम्हारी लाज रखो गिरधारी लाज रखो गिरधारी
Yeah. 15 more minutes.
Oh. This is a traditional bhajan. Tu Deen Dayal, Prabhu Deen Dayal. You are the compassionate one, O Lord, the compassionate one. In my eyes dwells the beloved child of Nanda. In your lips, O Sham, the flute plays sweet and clear, and your name spreads love throughout the world. Grant me your divine vision, O beloved of Nanda. You are the compassionate one, O Lord, the compassionate one. In Vrindavan, joy paints the air with colors divine. There plays the darling of Nanda, laughing, flute in hand. A garland of wild flowers adorns your neck, O Sham. Your form, my only meditation, my source of wisdom. Grant me your vision, O beloved of Nanda. You are the compassionate one, O Lord, the compassionate one. दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल मेरे नयन में नंद दुलाल दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल मेरे नयन में नंद दुलाल दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल अधरी मुरली बजाओ शाम जग में लूटत प्रेम का नाम अधरी मुरली बजाओ शाम जग में लूटत प्रेम का नाम दर्शन दो नंद दुलार दर्शन दो नंद दुलार दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल मेरे नयन में नंद दुलाल दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल वृंदावन में रूप रंग है नंद किशोर हसत खेलत बंसी पुकारत हसत खेलत बंसी पुकारत सुंदर मन सुंदर मन बन फूल माला गले पे शाम तेरे रूप दर्शन दो नंद दुलार, दर्शन दो नंद दुलार, दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल, दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल, मेरे नयन में नंद दुलाल, दीन दयाल प्रभु दीन दयाल।
10 more minutes. Any 10 more.
Ooh.
Huh? No. No, we don't. Sorry. We're old school.
Okay, I'll sing Anup Jalota bhajan.
Bhajan for God, sung by
Right. Well, this is kind of a Chetavani bhajan. It's a cautionary, so bhajan. Of course, yeah. It's thank you for correcting. So this is the words are Mat kar tu abhiman. Do not hold on to pride, O servant of the Lord. Your said Mat kar tu abhiman re bande. So bande can mean a person, but I think in the context this of the bhajan, probably a servant of the Lord, banda, is probably more appropriate. Do not hold on to pride, O servant of the Lord. Your worldly glory is false. Countless ones like you have come, and this very earth has swallowed them all. Not even a trace remains. So let go of your pride, O servant of the Lord. The world is illusion, the body is illusion. Only the one who sings Hari's virtue is truly yours. Take his name, O servant of the Lord, and let go of pride. Maya's darkness is strange, bright on the outside, yet black within. Recognize this, O servant of the Lord, and let go of pride. You may possess diamonds and pearls, but in my heart temple shines the Lord's own light. Tell me, who is the truly wealthy one? Release your pride, O servant of the Lord.
Actually, this bhajan is sang and written by Anup Jalota.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
sang.
Yeah.
So I'm correcting Maharaj. The thing is, like Sri Ramakrishna and Dakshinesha, so people say Rashmani Bagan, Rashmani Mandir. Actually, it's mother's Kali's Mandir. So sung here is, he must have written and also sung. It's for God.
Yeah.
Worship to God.
मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे। मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे। मत कर तू अभिमान। तेरे जैसे लाखों आए, लाखों इस माटी में गाए, तेरे जैसे लाखों आए, लाखों इस माटी में गाए, रहा ना नाम निशान रे बंदे, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे, मत कर तू अभिमान। झूठी माया, झूठी काया, वो तेरा जो हरि गुण गाया, झूठी माया, झूठी काया, वो तेरा जो हरि गुण गाया, जप ले हरि का नाम ओ बंदे, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे, मत कर तू अभिमान। माया का अंधकार निराला, बाहर उजला भीतर काला, माया का अंधकार निराला, बाहर उजला भीतर काला, किसको तो पहचान रे बंदे, मत कर तू तेरे पास है हीरे मोती, मेरे मन मंदिर में ज्योति, तेरे पास है हीरे मोती, मेरे मन मंदिर में ज्योति, कौन हुआ धनवान रे बंदे, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान। good.
Yeah, we can leave that there.
Okay.
You can use it. Yeah, you can use it for your book. I better kneel down to introduce you because the camera. is blurry. Well, we want to thank Padur Mukherjee for wonderful bhajans. Tomorrow we'll have the same. We're so happy and thrilled to welcome Maharaj Swami Chandrashekaranandaji from Portland, the Portland Center. He runs the center up there. And I had to come and visit because I've told so many wonderful things. It's so beautiful there. But Maharaj, this is his third visit to Las Vegas. And we can't thank you enough because we desperately, we don't have a regular Swami. And so we're an adopted center by you, Maharaj. So thank you very much for adopting us in a way. And of course, Swami Vidyanandaji does an amazing job coming here every month. So Maharaj will do a satsang today on the topic of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So all of your questions, you can type them into the chat with live. And if you're live here, you'll be able to ask questions, which is wonderful. After this, we'll have some prasad. Now, tomorrow, Maharaj is here all weekend. So tomorrow we're going to have, we'll start at 5 p.m. with Arti and Bhajans by Durji again. At 5:30, he'll start Bhajans, and at 6 p.m. Maharaj will give a talk titled The Deeper Meaning of Ritualistic Worship, if I got that correctly.
Meaning and significance of the worship.
Worship, deeper meaning of worship. So we're going to learn a lot more about
ritualistic worship. So that is to highlight how to practically we can practice the presence of God.
It's pretty important. So we're all excited about that. And that will start at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Maharaj's talk will be. And then also in the morning at 9 a.m., we're going to take a walk. We're going to a nature hike with Maharaj. You're all welcome out in Videoland and here. We'll leave the center at 9 a.m. and we're going to go to the Silver Spring Mountain State Park. I think that's what it's called here in Red Rock. It was beautiful. We went some weeks ago. It's a gorgeous place, Maharaj. You're going to love it. And so everybody's welcome to hike with Maharaj tomorrow. We're leaving the center at 9 a.m. If you want to meet us there, text me or send me some call or we'll get you to the directions. Spring Mountain State Park.
Yeah, just ahead of New York, Red Rock, right?
Yeah, it's just past the Red Rock State Park.
That's Spring Mountain.
It's beautiful there. So, and it's very easy. There's toilets, there's facilities. So you're not roughing it. So don't worry. Feel free to come. And then Sunday, our schedule is Maharaj is going to give a talk on the teachings of the Yoga Sutras, and that's going to start at 4 p.m. And 4:30 we'll have Bhajans by hopefully Maharaj, and then we'll do Maharaj's talk at 5 p.m. And then we're going to, this is beautiful. So on Sunday morning, we'll leave the center at 9 a.m. and we're going to go to the Valley of Fire State Park. They've got a whole new setup there. They've got a new center, nature center there, and all these things. So I'm excited to be doing some outer, I think. So, thank you so much.
Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviriritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Vinantiye Bhuridajana. Your nectar-like words, warm and inspiring life stories, eulogized by learned sages, are indeed eradicator of shoots of ignorance. These are auspicious to hear and propitious to inculcate in one's own life. Those who take these words to the world are indeed great benefactor of the world. So first, thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you for inviting me again and also to give opportunity to meet our friends here. And thank you, Ratan, for sponsoring this. So it is not unknown whatever we are going to talk about. When we read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we hear time and again. And just now, as we have heard, so all the central theme of spiritual life is already discussed. What is new there? Sri Krishna Gita, Machittaha Madgata Pranaha Bodhayantaha Parasparam. Like those who have dedicated themselves, those who have surrendered to me, Machitta, whose chitta is dedicated or surrendered to me, and whose prana, the vital force also, like that means they talk about, they think about me, Machitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam. They make each other understand the subtleties of spiritual life. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Machitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam. Kathenti cha nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And they talk about me, they get pleasure out of that. And nityam, always. It's not new, though it is old, but it's ever new. Like Ramayana, it's always it is new. What as many times as you see, it looks new. Or we are never bored. Whereas worldly things we are bored. The same thing we don't want to eat twice. But here this is eternal. Uh, my katha ananta, like I am, God says, or the concept of God is ananta, limitless. So his story, as we talk about, as we cultivate, actually we are drawn to him. And not only that, Bhagavan says, Machittaha Madgata Pranaha Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantischa Nityam Bodhayantischa Parasparam. Tesham Satatanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti. Not only that, when they talk about me, then I give them that light, that spark by which they attain me. So this is not new, this is old. And if you Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it is always Sri Ramakrishna would say Satsang, Satsang, Sadhu Sangha, Satsang. And not only he said Satsang, but he also organized. Every day we can have Satsang with Sri Ramakrishna when we read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So not only he prescribed this Satsanga, Sadhu Sangha, but he has also organized, and he took his companion, brought his companion, and he made sure that he's recording correctly. And sometimes M would write something, or after speaking something, Sri Ramakrishna would say, "What did you understand?" Then he would say like this. No, not like this. He would correct. So it is. He took care so that his recorded conversation is recorded correctly. So that's why it is divine. In Bhagavad Gita, we don't find like that. That Sri Krishna is saying or Arjuna is saying. But here, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he is taking care. His editor in charge. So editing, whatever was recorded, it was recorded correctly. Though this is only partial. Why partial? Because M never visited every day. He visited when he had time or on particular days. So, and it's in a public. So whatever is convenient for general public, Sri Ramakrishna would say that. For the all renouncing monks, he would close the door and look around. If when nobody was there, then only he would speak to them. So anyway, we are common people, and this is enough for us. As Sri Ramakrishna said, one peg is enough. Why worry how many gallons are there? So for us, it is wonderful. So anyway, and Vidur, very nice for singing. It's wonderful. And if you see all the songs, he has already enumerated what is to be done, not to be proud of it. And I understand this is composed by what is his name? Anup Jalota. Yeah. But dedicated to God, of course. But instructions, that what happens, as Sri Ramakrishna says, that instructions should come from authority. Otherwise, what happens? The person who instructs, he also may be proud sometimes. So anyway, that's not the point. Point is very nice. Songs are very good. So I'll read from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and then we'll try to tell the teachings that Sri Ramakrishna imparts through these words. So, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Gauri Pandit practiced austerity. When he chanted a hymn to the Divine Mother, the other Pandits would seem to more than earthworm, no more than earthworm. Naranashasti was not merely a scholar, either he practiced sadhana as well. He studied for 25 years without a break. Nyaya alone he studied for 7 years. Still he would go into ecstasy while repeating the name of Shiva. The king of Jaipur wanted to make him his court Pandit, but Narayana refused. He used to spend much time here. He had great desire to go to the Vashishta Ashrama to practice tapasya. He often spoke to me about it, but I forbade him to go there. At that, he said, "Who knows when I shall die? When shall I practice sadhana? Any day I may crack." After much insistence on his part, I let him go. Some say that he is dead, that he died while practicing austerity. Others say that he is still alive and that they saw him off on a railway train. So here what we find that Sri Ramakrishna in his sadhana period. So let us talk about it. What is sadhana? Of course, this happened after the sadhana was over. But here we find a great underlying theme is great sadhana. Though they are pandits, but they did sadhana and they wanted to do sadhana. Ordinarily, we are happy in this world and we are engaged in worldly things right from morning to evening. We hardly find time for contemplation, for remembering God. But we need to have sadhana. Sadhana is very important. It is like animating whatever. See, like this machine. Machine is inert. But in the hands of Vidur, it made such a wonderful sound. And he knows how to use it. I also tried, but I failed. So one should know how to organize things so that it is not work, it is worship. And for that we need sadhana. We need to activate even our ordinary things. Even we need to say like car, it's inert, but how it works, how it takes us to various places. For that, we need initial sadhana. It is not possible without sadhana. We may go through the same thing over and over again, but we may not understand the real import of it without sadhana. The Pandit, though he was such a great Pandit, but still they needed sadhana. Because sadhana opens up. That time, that spark, as Sri Krishna said, that I gave them that I lit the Jnana Deepena Bhaswara. So I lit the knowledge, the lamp of knowledge. So that happens when we have sadhana. We have to open up for that particular moment when we get that spark. So that is why sadhana is very, very important. So another thing what we understand here, that Sri Ramakrishna, apparently he is say from village, not educated, but great pandits would come to him. That we find here. And they were charmed. Not only they used to come, they were charmed, seeing his personality, his simplicity, his dedication to Mother Kali. That is why they were so attached with him. So this is what we find here. Now let us go forward. Before meeting Keshav, I asked Narayan Shastri to visit him and tell me what he thought of him. Narayan reported that Keshav was an adept in japa. He knew astrology and remarked that Keshav had been born under a good star. Then I went to visit Keshav in the garden house of Belguria. Hriday was with me. The moment I saw Keshav, I said, of all the people I see here, he alone has dropped his tail. He can now live on land as well as in water like a frog. So Keshav, another. So as we know, Keshav was a great orator. And in another place, this is the study of Narayan Shastri. But in another place, Sri Ramakrishna says that he is Daivi. He came to prepare the ground for Sri Ramakrishna. Because many people who were influenced by Western thought, by sheer capacity of his oratory, he brought them back to the Indian and Sanatana Dharma. So Keshav is Devi, and as Sri Ramakrishna said, he was Devi. He was brought for a particular purpose. He is no other than the retinue of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna brought not only all renouncing monks, but householders, and so the whole retinue, if we see from distance of this 150 years or so, we can find how gradually things rebuilt, and all had their part to play. So Keshav was not an ordinary person, and even Sri Ramakrishna would say, is he an ordinary person? He had talked with Queen Victoria. So though he was Devi, but he had limited, part to play, and he loved Sri Ramakrishna. Previously, he would not obeisance. He would not offer obeisance to Sri Ramakrishna, but later he would make pranam and would come without shirt even. So that's very important how he was totally changed. And not only that, he started the singing of glory of Mother in Brahmo Samaj. So this we find in the life of Keshav Chandrashekarananda. Now let us go forward. Keshav sent 3 members of the Brahmo Samaj to the temple garden at Dakshineshwar to test me. Prasanna was one of them. They were commissioned to watch me day and night and to report to Keshav. They were in my room and intended to spend the night there. They constantly uttered the word Dayamay, Dayamay, and said to me, "Follow Keshav Babu, that will do you good." I said, "I believe in God with form." Still, they went on with their exclamation of Dayamay. Then a strange mood come over me. I said to them, "Get out of here." I didn't allow them to spend the night in my room. So they slept on the veranda. Captain also spent the night in the temple garden, the first time he visited me. Now here what we find, one should not find fault with this. Rather it is good. As Sri Ramakrishna would say, see a monk daytime, see a monk in night also. Watch him. And Sri Ramakrishna wanted that he should be examined. So it is like searchlight. The character of Sri Ramakrishna is under searchlight. Not only him, even Mathur Babu also arranged. So somebody would inform him about all good things, and somebody was engaged for reporting all bad things, what he did wrong. So it is not bad. Rather, we can see Sri Ramakrishna through and through. And some people think that, oh, see, he's bare-bodied. But we are lucky to see his body. Some Western devotees, they may not appreciate without shirt. But actually, we are lucky to have vision of his body. Even see, if you see his hands, one hand is longer, Ajanu Bahu. So right hand is longer than the left hand. See that up to this, where it is coming. So Holy Mother is to say, people of this time is very clever, because this time they took picture of an incarnation. So we find that everything has its meaning. Engaging some people to find the faults of Sri Ramakrishna is also not bad. And even that Hazra Mahashai, people would think that he's like nonsense. No, he was required there. And Sri Ramakrishna sometimes would go and prostrate himself before him. And he would say that here, if it is a big dargah here, is a small dargah there. People would go there and talk to him. Even Naren would go and talk to him freely. So what is the point? Point is, an incarnation need all this. And Sri Ramakrishna would say, the Lila Pushtai Haina and Jotila Kutila Nathakle, if there is no villain, there is no play that is worth watching. So we need some such characters also. And then we can understand the real import of the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. So that's why it is very important. Keshav and all his party, even many people came because of Keshav. So his importance is very much there. So this will be fine. So Dayamay Daya, what is the meaning of Dayamay? Dayamay means God is gracious, full of compassion. Dayamay. And that's the way they used to depict, because they did not believe in a form. But Sri Ramakrishna said, no, I believe in God with form. And then strange bhav came to him, attitude came to him. That means he was in his own form and said, get out of this place. Otherwise he is humble, very humble. That's why when he used to take his form, even great people would fear to talk to him. Uh, at the end of this gospel, there is a memoir. So he says when he would go in front of Sri Ramakrishna, he would feel that, oh, we studied in the same class, the classmate. But when he would go from him, oh my God, to whom I went and I saw him. So this happens. Uh, God is very own. But if we are away from God, then He is ferocious. And Vishasmad Bhatah Pavate Vishodeti Surya. Even this sun, moon, and this air is being blown. Why? Because out of fear. When one is away from God, then one feels fear. And when one is in proximity of God, He's our own. We love Him. So loving God is very important, as we have heard in a song also. So, and another thing he said, Captain. Captain is Captain Vishwanath. He was an official of the government of Nepal. Michael visited the temple garden when Narayan Shastri was living with me. Michael is Michael Madhusudan Datta. He was a great poet in Bengal. But he converted himself to Christianity. So Sri Ramakrishna never liked that, because for any worldly purpose, if one converted, that is not good. One should follow one's path. It's very important. One chooses after selecting various routes, and then one follow that route. If one keep on changing the route, one cannot reach the goal. The route is very important. That's why I say you have come here. You have selected a route, and then you drove down, and you reached. But suppose on the way you started changing. No, not this. Then you go by another route, and then you end up somewhere else. That is not good. Some disciple. Well, I know one disciple of one Swami. So he became a brahmachari, and then he spent many years. Then he became a Muslim, and then he became Buddhist. Like that, keep on changing. That is not the way. Rather, one should follow whatever path one has chosen. Michael visited the temple garden when Narayan Shastri was living with me. Dwarka Babu, Mathur's eldest son, his name was also Dwarka, brought him here. The owners of the temple garden were about to get into a lawsuit with the English proprietors of the neighboring powder magazine. That means if you have visited Dakshineshwar, north of the temple garden of Bhavatarini, that time there was a magazine. They used to make some weapon. So it is called Powder Magazine. So they wanted Michael's advice. I met him in the big room next to the manager's office. Narayan Shastri was with me. I asked Narayan to talk to him. Michael could not talk very well in Sanskrit. He made mistakes. Then they talked in popular dialect, maybe Bengali or maybe Hindi. So Narayan Shastri asked him his reason for giving up the Hindu religion. Pointing to his stomach, Michael said, it was for this. Narayan said, what shall I say to a man who gives up his religion for his belly's sake? Thereupon Michael asked me to say something. I said, I don't know why, but I don't feel like saying anything. Someone seems to be pressing my tongue. So this is the way when Sri Ramakrishna, whatever he talked or the way he behaved, everything was guided by Mother, the Supreme Being. So this is his way of talking. That means he did not feel uh, urge to talk to Michael Madhusudan Datta. Manomohan. Mr. Chaudhary will not come. He said, that fellow Shashadhar from Faridpur will be there. I shall not go. Mr. Chaudhary had obtained his master's degree from Calcutta University. He drew a salary of 3 and 400 rupees. After the death of his first wife, he had felt intense dispassion for the world. But after some time, he had married again. He frequently visited the master at the temple garden. Master, how mean of him? He is vain of his scholarship. Besides, he has married a second time. He looks on the world as a mere mud puddle. So, like this is what he said here, that in one hand he says this world is a mud puddle and he again enters into world. So this is contradiction. Sri Ramakrishna did not like that duplicity. So to the devotees, this attachment to women and old makes a man small-minded. When I first saw Haramohan, he had many good traits. I longed to see him. He was then 17 or 18 years old. I used to send for him every now and then, but he would not come. He is now living away from the family with his wife. He had been living with his uncle. Now, one thing here, uh, it seems like Sri Ramakrishna is women hater, but actually that's not the thing. What he conveyed by this, that one should not be attached with this world. In other places, as Sri Ramakrishna said, even he told to Swami that time, uh, Swami Brahmananda that time, Rakhal Maharaj, Rakhal, that yes, you go. So what is there? So one should experience some of this world, but one should not be get caught here. That is the point. The thing is, in evolution, there are some process by which one should progress, but one should not go to the previous birth. One should progress onward, and that is what is the what he wanted to convey. And Sri Ramakrishna, as we see, his Ishta, chosen ideal is Mother Kali. And motherhood of all women, he would see all women as the manifestation of mother. It's not that he is to hate women. But this is the way in Bengali that's called Kamini Kanchan, as you know. Kamini Kanchan means enchantress. It is not hating anyone. Sri Ramakrishna went to the inner apartment to see the deity. He offered some flowers. The ladies of Balaram's family were pleased to see him. The master came back to the drawing room and said, the worldly minded practice devotions, japa, and austerity only by fits and starts. But those who know nothing else but God repeat his name with every breath. It's called ajapa siddhi. Ajapa means like without japam, the japam happens automatically with the breathing. Some always repeat mentally Om Rama. Even the followers of the path of knowledge spend Soham, repeat Soham. I am He. There are others whose tongues are always moving, repeating the name of God. One should remember and think of God constantly. It is possible even when one is sleeping, that time also this japam is possible if one has practiced with breathing. So with breathing, this happens. So Pandit Shashadhar entered the room with one or two friends and saluted the master. Master, smiling. We are like the bridesmaids, waiting near the bed for the arrival of the groom. The Pandit laughed. So Sri Ramakrishna, we see in common parlance, uh, he would give something, even to enjoy uh, that conversation. The room was filled with devotees, among them Dr. Pratap and Balaram's father. The master continued his talk to Shashadhar. The first sign of knowledge is a peaceful nature, and the second is absence of egotism. Now, why peaceful nature? If one is engaged and boisterous and he is uh, doing lots of things, his mind cannot be calm. That's why one should be uh, able to curtail, minimize the outgoing mind. That's very important in our lives. Otherwise, what will happen? The mind is scattered. And Sri Ramakrishna said it's like social putli, like a mustard seed. If it's scattered on the floor, you cannot collect. Mind is such. Once it is outgoing, it's very difficult to control. That is why we need to concentrate. And those, it's like singers. They have that, they try to put their mind in certain thing. Or the musical, say, instrument players. So one should channelize one's energies and attention to some channel, and gradually that to be oriented to God. If it is scattered, then it's very difficult to collect. The first sign of knowledge is a peaceful nature, and the second is absence of egotism. So, ego is the most difficult thing to cross. But in other places, Ramakrishna said, if it is difficult to get rid of ego, let it be like rascal ego, be servant ego or devotee ego. Thaksha dasami hai. So it's very difficult to go egotism. So we should dedicate our ego to the God. We are children of God. So that feeling helps. You have both. There are other indications of a jnani. He shows intense dispassion in the presence of a sadhu. Is a lion when at work, for instance, when he lectures as if full of his wit before his wife. Now, let me read it again. He shows intense dispassion in presence of a sadhu. Is a lion when at work. For instance, when he lectures and is full of wit before his wife. So all Sri Ramakrishna will give some masala also. So that is interesting. So that means whatever our mind is engaged, we should apply it fully. And then as soon as it is enough, then one should be able to detach also. As Sri Ramakrishna would say, and also Swamiji would say, that we should have power to attach our mind in something fully and also totally withdraw it from that. So both are important. Otherwise, what will happen? See, we are driving the tires are stuck somewhere. We cannot move. Or if it is too, it is not touched and it's moving in its own place, that also we cannot move. So it should touch and also be detached at the moment of notice. So that's very important. And in this world also, otherwise we'll be stuck somewhere. If we engage too much and we do not have power of withdrawal from that sense, then we are stuck there. Or our life will be useless, because then it is flying in its own place. So, so he shows intense dispassion in the presence of a sadhu. Is a lion when at work, for instance, when he lectures and is full of wit before his wife. But the nature of the jnani is quite different, as was the case with Chaitanya Deva. So Vijnani is, he lives, his all actions are totally dedicated. Sri Ramakrishna is also totally dedicated to God. Whatever he does, it's not other than that connection. He acts like a child or a madman or an inert thing or a ghoul. While in the mood of a child, he sometimes shows childlike kindness, sometimes the frivolity of adolescence, and sometimes, while instructing others, the strength of a young man. In the case of Sri Ramakrishna, we find this. Same, when he was engaged with younger people, he would even talk frivolously. So the point is, he's not attached with anything. Traigunya Vishayaveda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. And one should be detached from all influences of three gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. What happens, whatever if it is pleasurable, then we are attached with it. We cannot get rid of it. And if it is activity, then we are so much active that we forget everything. Or sometimes we are tamasic, but one should be detached from all three gunas. Gunas are not qualities. Gunas are binding forces that binds us. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bhata. Like when, say, we read something, we feel pleasure. And then people keep on reading that. So that also gives some joy. But that joy is binding. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bhata. And when one is active, then he gets a kind of pleasure that way also. And he continues to do that. He cannot stop himself. Or tamasic, a person is sleeping, so sleeping, he cannot do work. It's very difficult. So one should be one should nistraigunya bhava Arjuna. Bhagavan says to Arjuna that you should not be attached with any of three gunas. One should be away from it. Pandit, by what kind of bhakti does one realize God? Master, three kinds of bhakti are found according to the nature of the man. Sattvic bhakti, rajasic bhakti, and tamasic bhakti. Now see, these are three kinds. Again, see, sattvic, rajasic, these are not gunas. These are binding forces. Like in Bengali, we have guna means like thread. If it is a compound of 3-4 strings, so each are called guna. So this is, we can understand that way. So sattvic bhakti is known to God alone. Sattvic bhakti is known to God alone. It makes no outward display. A man with such devotion loves privacy. Perhaps he meditates inside the mosquito net, where nobody sees him. When this kind of devotion is awakened, one hasn't long to wait for the vision of God. The appearance of the dawn in the east shows that the sun will rise before long. So this is Sattvic Bhakti. And as we know the story of the three dacoits, as Sri Ramakrishna said, they are like dacoits. So the man was caught and everything was plundered from him. And then the tamasic person was about to kill him. Then Rajasic said, no, what is the fun of it? Rather we bind him and keep him here. And then after a certain time, then Sattvic robber comes and says, oh, I see that you are hurt. Okay, I'm opening your all bondage, and you see this is the path, you go and you'll reach your home. So Sattvic plunderer shows us the way, how to go and what to do. And Sri Ramakrishna says, if we find Sattvic Bhakti in someone, that means it is not very long that he will attain God. A man with Rajasic Bhakti feels like making a display of the devotion, of his devotion before others. He worships the deity with 16 ingredients, Shoshopachar. Enters the temple wearing a silk cloth and puts around his neck a string of Rudraksha beads, interspersed here and there with beads of gold and ruby. A man with tamasic bhakti shows the courage and boisterousness of a highway robber. A highway robber goes on his expedition openly, shouting, kill, plunder. He is not afraid even of 8 police inspectors. The devotee with tamasic bhakti also shouts like a madman. Hara Hara, Bom Yom, victory to Kali. He has great strength of mind and burning faith. You see, here tamasic, though it is lower, but it has a power. And Sri Ramakrishna would say like it's not medate bhav. That means not like there is no strength of it. Rather, one should have that strength. And tera banat bani jai. That means someday it will happen. That's not good. Rather, one should be up and doing. So Sri Ramakrishna liked that one. And as we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukriti. 4 kinds of people worship me. But all sukrita people. So it's not that somebody is lower. Here, if someone is worshipping God, that means he is adorable. Even tamasic. So we should not hate that, oh, he's tamasic. No, he has his own attitude. Fine. Even Sri Ramakrishna would not find fault with tamasic sadhu. Sadhu, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And Sri Ramakrishna would stand before them like folded hands. So, what is the point? Point is, we should not hate. One can have one's own attitude. That's the fun of it. That is why God has created so many religions, so many ways to reach God. Whatever one wants, it looks like dangerous, but even those who sacrifice themselves, to kill others, I'm not taking the name, they have also burning faith. We have to see this. They are ready to sacrifice their life for their ideal. I'm not saying whether it is good or bad. What we can learn that such a dedication, that is important. So, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic Bhaktas. A Shakta has such faith, he says, what? I have uttered once the name of Kali and Durga. I have uttered once the name of Rama can there be any sin in me? But this is Sattvic bhava of tamas. As Ramakrishna would say, no, this faith would not come if a person is totally tamasic. He has some faith, burning faith. So it is the predominance of any bhava. If sattva is predominant, then we say sattvic. But he has rajasic and tamasic also. And if in a person we find predominance of rajas, he may have tamasic and also sattvic. And if a person is tamasic, he also may have some quality of sattva and some quality of rajas. So this is such a burning faith is not possible without some tinge of sattva, because he has recognized his goal, and for that goal he is ready to do anything. The Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas have a very humble and lowly attitude. Looking at Balram's father, they tell their rosary and whine and whimper, "Oh Krishna, be gracious to us. We are wretched. We are sinners." A man should have such fiery faith as to be able to say, "I have uttered the name of God. How can I be a sinner?" Imagine a man repeating the name of Hari day and night, and at the same time saying that he is a sinner. So Sri Ramakrishna did not like that. Rather, one should have that grit, that strength, that I have uttered the name of God once. How can a sin touch me? So it is not possible. So we must have that burning faith. But of course, we don't recommend tamasic. Rather, it should be sattvic. Yes, because when you are sattvic, you enjoy, you also please others. Whereas that plunder like or that kind of people that I mentioned, they harm others. And when they harm others, they harm themselves, because there are not many. Here, neha nanasti kinchana, here all are one. If you harm others, that means you harm yourself. You get doomed. So, only thing what we have to see, the burning faith, that's the only good thing that we find, but we should not harm others. And sattvic devotion alone can give that. So, let us pray to the Divine, Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother Sarada Devi, and also Swami Vivekananda, that we have that sattvic devotion, and gradually we transcend these three gunas and we attain to them.
Did you want to take any questions, Maharaj?
No?
It's a Satsang, sir. Anybody wants to ask a question? We're such a nice small group.
How will you know when your Sharanagati is getting stronger?
You know yourself. See, like when you eat, how you know that you are filled? You know yourself. Even if somebody wants to serve more, you say, no, I cannot take more. Alam pratyeva. It is self-fulfilling. So when we have that feeling, that we know ourselves. Boje pran, boje jaya. He understands who understands. So this is swasambedya. Sasambedya. That means it is self-understanding. It doesn't require a certificate from somewhere. It's self-certifying. So Sharanagati, then we'll have the expression also. Then we would not like other things. Total Sharanagati. When we have a liking for the world, then it's not Sharanagati. We are taken shelter in other things. So it's self-certifying.
One more. Sometimes I think Swamiji said that tamas can masquerade as sattva. You may be thinking that
Correct.
it's sattvic, but actually you're avoiding certain activities because you're just plain being lazy. It is not sattva at all. So what is the distinction?
Even that, that state is, let us take the example of Girish Chandra Bose. So previously he would think that I am indolent, I'm not, I'm tamasic. But that tamasic also becomes still. Because now I am Sharanagata. Even that, even suppose you are steeped in tamas, but if you can dedicate yourself, that also is a strength. So, of course, Swamiji said this, and India experienced that. In the garb of sattva, it was steeped in tamas. That is why we need to increase our rajas. Like in Bhagavad Gita, how to overcome tamas. We know it is sasambedya, that this attitude is not good. It is tamasic. When we know how to get rid of it, by increasing our rajas. And how to get rid of rajas? By increasing the proportion of sattva. And that time everybody understood. But we are what to do, God will look at us. And actually God does. That's why Sri Ramakrishna appeared in the scene. India was steeped in tamas, no doubt. And some people were Sharanagata. That is why God had to come, had to think about it. And from that time onward, we see the increase. And now it is the time for rajas. Now we can see the change in India. And Swamiji came and scolded right, left, and center. And that is why sattva, he increased the sattva, rajas. And then gradually sattva will come. So we are also inspire ourselves to have rajas first and then sattva. We understand what is sattva, what is rajas and tamas. When we understand, we have to recognize and we have to strengthen our rajas and tamas, sattva. Gradually, we come out of it, as I understand. So even if, say, one is steeped in tamas, nothing to worry about. Even if in that state we can surrender to God, God will send someone will kick us. That happened to India. People came from outside, enslaved us, and then came gradual, now coming out of it. And situation will change. So even if one is steeped in tamas, nothing to worry about. Only be surrendered. Then God will take care of it.
Any other questions, anybody?
Maharaj, when you look at M's devotion, would you say in M's case, it was Rajasic at the very beginning and it turned into Sattvic, but
Tamasic in the beginning.
Tamasic.
He wanted to commit suicide.
Yes.
Because he lost all faith in his family, in the world. This is the way of the world. I don't want to live here. And he wanted to commit suicide. Only thing, the saving factor, that's why he had that spark within. Gradually, that brought him to Sri Ramakrishna, and gradually everything was revealed. And Sri Ramakrishna assured him, only you have to know two things. Who am I and what relation you have with me? That's it. What worry? If we know this, who he is and who we are his children. He cannot throw us away. That burning faith should be there.
I have a follow-up question about that, actually. So, as incarnations, you said, as Krishna, he brought his companions of Arjuna and so on. And Sri Ramakrishna, of course, was Krishna, and he brought his companions. So, who was Arjuna when he brought back? When he came back?
Arjuna is Swamiji.
Yeah,
What we understand.
that's my thinking too. I just was wondering if that's what the order was thinking also.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Plus he
obvious.
made, and in Rama avatar, Swamiji compared himself with Hanuman. And he writes, last time I had to leave the ocean, now I'm crossing the ocean in their ship.
That's funny.
Okay. And what he did actually like Hanuman. Lanka Dahan. So here he came and put the fire. Of course, different kind of fire. It's not like destructive. You see, just imagine 9/11. If I say 9/11, everybody is shocked. 9/11. But Swamiji delivered his talk on 9/11, 108 years ago. So this is a different kind of putting fire. Actually, people who are steeped in enjoyment, worldliness. Swamiji put fire there. So that's interesting. So it's like Hanuman. And he uses Gada also. Sometimes he uses that also.
An unsheathed sword.
In the Detroit, people oppose him vehemently. And not only in Detroit, in some other places also. His own people betrayed. Lots of. Swamiji's life is really, in 39 years, what he lived. It's amazing.
With asthma and diabetes, diabetes and all these things, he was.
And then in India, he fired. Not only here he put fire, he fired there. Blazing fire, and he's still inspiring people. That's why he said, Hari Bhai, I packed my body away so that I can walk without any bondage. He's working still. Even in science institutions, I've seen, even management institution, Swamiji's pictures are there. So they are not our devotees as such, but they know the importance of Swami Vivekananda. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So just quickly, there's flowers to put on the altar. And tomorrow, 9 a.m., our hiking, if you want to be here. And then tomorrow night, Maharaj will start at 5 p.m. with the Arti and Bhajans by liturgy at 5:30. And we'll be live streaming at 5:30. And 6 p.m. we have the talk. And of course, like tonight, we have food afterwards. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you
So
very
appreciate
much.
it. And thank all of you for coming. Braving the weather and braving the traffic with the Formula One. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And thank you for being online, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.